Hello everyone, I am Tacet. Hope all of you have been doing good this afternoon. So today we got ourselves the invasions for the Taurus event. It ends up coming with a new weapon as well, oddly enough. And we also got a useless mythic. But yeah, we do have the new mythic. But it's not really too relevant. I highly doubt we're going to be touching this thing ever again, other than for the video that we showed him. He's just unfortunately too underwhelming. He's like an okay poke. He'd probably be good in early game as well, oddly enough, if you have him at like under level 500, maybe even under 1000. But yeah, he just does not scale well until end game, that is for sure. His Fairy Fire Burn, while that is kind of unique, is outdone by things like Queen Titania and similar things. So overall, just does not really seem worth it. But yeah, maybe they'll tweak him. But a lot of mythics haven't been getting that tweak. He's in the Glory Gem Guild and VIP chests and all those drop tables over there. But yeah, it's a pretty skippable mythic to say the least. Anyways, we do have the invasion event going on. So if we go over to if we go over to the invasion tabs over here, we do have ourselves everything with this. We do have a new weapon as well, which I didn't even grab yet. And that is, of course, the Horn Cleaver. And ends up dealing, it's one of those pretty standard weapons, but it deals damage to an enemy, boosted by Taurus allies, then creates a mixture of red and browns. So pretty average. You won't really ever be using a team that uses too many Tauruses. The main exception being if you're using this with Shaman hero class, with Catches the Bull. That's one of the stronger combos whenever you're using a Taurus team. And you can even do it with double Catchers, and it would still kind of synergize there. Would it be the best option to use? It'd be okay. The blue doesn't have any overlap with it. So you can end up filling it that way if you really want to behind it. Normally you would use your hero in front of it. However, this weapon does have the ability to go from behind and still end up functioning for it. But let's go over here. Hey, we actually got a legend out of that. Nice. So grab that, and let's go get this event done. Obviously, we already have all the Cloud Stalkers we would ever need. The only reason I'm buying these packs is to get the weapon, which I believe comes out to a total of 210 to get up to that point. And we get our weapon. Plus, it still helps our guild. We would have probably bought in tier 2, even if there wasn't a weapon there, just to help get our guild get the battles in. But definitely want to get at least tier 3 this time around for the weapon, of course. Hello, Paul. Hello, Ricardo. Welcome, welcome. All of you have been having a good afternoon. So, I guess we'll start over there then, because the other stuff I kind of want to do later on, and then we'll do a bunch of Explore 12 farming. Oh, also, 2 days in a row, we got a kill 150 objective. This is pretty nice. As you guys know, there's a very small chance, I believe about 5% chance, or that's what it was before. I'm not sure if it's still 5%, but it's about a 5% chance that every single day you get a kill 150. That gives you 100 gems rather than the normal kill 100 of anything, and it gives you 20. We got it 2 days in a row. So our biggest streak, I think, was 4 in a row. So we'll see how many we can get in a row this time. Hopefully at least one more. It's always nice to see those. But anyways, let's get into Invasion already. And that's the thing, just telling us about the Mythic that we already have. And we covered Teams 4 in the video earlier. I'm not really going to be touching on it really this stream unless anyone has any direct questions about it. But yeah, it's a bit underwhelming later in the game. Just does not scale well compared to other options. And I'd rather use Queen Titania in like every instance compared to this thing. Low rarity team was surprisingly good. Actually, Bargus basically is the Mythic, but better. Like, Bargus, Bargus is so similar to this Mythic, it's not even funny. And he gets to do it for 13 mana cost, which is pretty funny. But, I don't know, it just seems weird the way that's scaled. Anyways, let's get into Invasion already. I'm not sure if my banner's even set correctly. Also, I need to go copy-paste the team. I don't even have it on copy-paste. Come over here. Where are you? I went over you on Monday. I even went over you in the video this morning. Let's see, get that over there, go to Invasion, and paste you in. Okay, let's go run this. We'll run down every sigil we have. So, we do have access to Catchers if we truly want to. However, I don't think we're actually going to need it. We have 50% mana start there. I think we just go with Seasons. We go Pure Season or Pure Magic. Which one's going to be lower? I guess we go Pure Magic because technically his damage output is actually lower than his skull damage. So that will keep killing for longer. However, if they have that 75% reduction, we won't kill. But however, that would be the case for a while anyways. So we're actually just going to go Pure Magic, get rid of this 20% since we're already going to have 50% due to the Shaman hero class. And just run it that way and we should be good to go. And that's the wrong event. I want Invasion. Actually, when is Guild War, by the way? Oh, we still got 2 weeks. It's not next week, but the following week. Anyways, let's go do this. Fight. Don't need to change anything else. Let's go and get ready to go. So thank you, Squatier. Yes, we had our birthday 2 days ago. Turned 26. Had a lot of fun. It was almost like a 2-day birthday, too. Because I still celebrated it quite a bit the previous day as well. Also, I never got to say thank you on stream. I'm pretty sure Nexus isn't here, though. But thank you, Nexus, for the $20 donation last night. Greatly appreciated. I actually didn't see it exactly when you did it, but it is just as much appreciated. The way I have my format set up, it has like the page there that I can actually like see it. However, the way where I have my game to capture, or you know, so I can actually see and play the game, is actually completely covering literally all of my alerts. I'm not sure if there's any viable way to really change that with how the format of this thing is, which is very annoying. Let's see. Okay, we'll take that over. So hello, DS. Also, I didn't even say hello to hello, Paul. Hello, Ricardo. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we'll keep poking. So this team obviously is going to overkill absolutely everything we touch. And we do have a boost ratio based on Tauruses, so that boost ratio is off our entire team. So we're almost always going to land an extra turn, which will ideally feed both of those to full mana, and then we just recast them again, and then we win. If we cast that 4 times, we pretty much auto-win unless this random RNG decides it doesn't want to, which quite often it'll decide it doesn't want to. I really hate the fact that that's a big range ability, as quite often than not, it's actually going to decide it does not want to do anything at all. Which is going to be a bit annoying, but we can throw that down, throw the other one down, be good to go. That's pretty much the game plan for all these. And once we reach towers, they'll still one-shot just as easily, if not easier, given the fact that we have a 5 times multiplier on them due to the troops that we have. Obviously, we'll kill the bird first, just to make sure it doesn't escape, so we get our sigils. We'll kill... Actually, you know, I'll take that first. We'll kill this out and not use the hammer on it, just to make sure it actually dies. Maybe we can hammer one of the other guys, since it's still at kill range, and the skull just wipes out the other thing. Easy as that. And we're just going to run this literally the entire time. It doesn't fall off at any point. That tends to be the way that you run invasions. If you're ever in doubt of how to run invasions, run 2 invasion troops up front with a mana generator and anything, and you won. That's pretty much invasions in a nutshell. It is 2 invasion troops, a hero mana generator, and then some other troop. Maybe another mana generator, or really whatever. And you probably won the event hands down. That's how most of these events end up panning out. And we got some nice fresh water. Just got to water out of the fridge. It's still so cold. Can't even drink it really quick. Is that enough to cast? Sure, why not? So we'll do that. It would have had full mana anyways, since it would have been a 2-turn delay regardless. Oh no! Oh yeah, I forgot. That won't kill because you're not a tower. If you were a tower, you'd be super dead. Because you're not a tower, it actually did not do enough damage, surprisingly. I hate this level of or this damage range ability. We got like one of the worst invasion troops to use for this event. You could use Ferocity and Catchers. I personally don't feel like they'll be needed. Though Catchers would be pretty good early on. Though we're kind of just going down this route. Catchers would fall off though at some point, particularly once you reach 4 towers. But for our earlier battles, yeah, you can get away with Catchers pretty nicely. I just went all in with the tower troop because the early battles take like no time at all. I don't think Ferocity will be that needed, though. Most of these battles, you're not going to be hitting too many extra turns to really justify his extra stats for the action of doing so. I'd rather just have another poke, especially since you can start pretty much every single thing with half mana start. Since as long as you use Shaman Hero class, every single thing that you're supposed to use or forced to use will have a half mana start. And Catchers, of course, is the longest way to go before it actually reaches full mana. Even with half start, it needs 11 mana, I believe it is. Was it 11 or 12? I actually forget. It was base damages now, or base mana. They do have enchant, so I guess it's a little bit less than that. Stop doing moves. Hey, we got an agile. This thing that has some tankiness at least. I don't think we went deep enough to have 20, actually, I don't think we went deep enough to have 25% score reduction. But at least a 20% dodge will save us on occasion. I'm not really too concerned, actually, with them dying. It's one of the whole reasons why you have two of them anyways. Just in case one dies, you got a backup one. I should have taken that skull. Could have won this turn. Oh, I still can. Or not. Or so. Just have to take another cast. Then we could have killed it with that skull. Should have been enough. Doesn't matter, though. If anyone has any questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. We'll mostly be running through Invasion to stream and then getting on that token grind. We got Initial last night. Hopefully we can keep doing pretty good on them. We've been getting on that token grind a little bit more just because we do finally have that 10% bonus, something I've been wanting for a while before we really started going on super grinds for it. And yeah, we got it the other day, so worth considering. Also, that's not what I meant to target there. What's the best hiking Iron Gut team? Depends what you're doing, but generally use it in a delve context. It depends heavily on what the actual restriction for the delve is. But assuming you don't have Zugoff, something along the lines of Mountain Crusher, hiking Iron Gut, Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, hiking Iron Gut, and then something like a Mirage Queen or Possessed King or something like that. Mirage Queen's probably where it ends up working out the best. It's a little bit more consistent, plus it's lower rarity and easy to obtain. The absolute strongest is something like Mountain Crusher, Iron Gut, Zugoff, and Leprechaun. However, it requires Zugoff, and you can't always use that team for delves. These does require some really specific coloration. Generally access to blue and then one of Leprechaun's colors. So there's very few delves that actually works on. Why'd I do that? I actually did not need that. The mana I did though. Explore 12 team. I do not advise using Iron Gut for Explore 12. However, the team I mentioned first does work. Well, actually, both of them still work for Explore 12. Either Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, hiking Iron Gut, and Mirage Queen. Or Mountain Crusher, Iron Gut, Zugoff, and Leprechaun. I have tried Iron Gut. It was actually one of the first builds I did when when Explore first came out. And I do have to say, it's actually slower than most other builds running Iron Gut for it. It was the first build I ever really did for it, and it is a little bit too slow, unfortunately, compared to other options. I think even Rowan or Skia Shield is quicker than using Iron Gut, last I recall. It's surprisingly slow. And the big issue with it, too, is a lot of kingdoms have Immune to Devour. And while you can counter it with, like, Mirage Queen and stuff like that, that makes it take even more time. Having to go out of your way to curse them every single battle. Of course, there's some battles where you don't, but most of them you do. In kingdoms that have higher concentrations of troops like that. So hello, Elite Gaming. Hello, KV. Hello, Young. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You've been using Amarak in the Delve to mostly good results, since you lack hiking Iron Gut. Once it's dead, then you use Urskean Crown to summon a bad troop. Yeah, Urskean Crown, if you don't have Flamefer, Urskean Crown's basically the Flamefer alternative. It's actually not that bad of a weapon. Summit summons are actually decent too. There's a lot of enraged summons. Like ones that are good at a single skull poke. So we just got like all red-blue towers rather than the first slot. So I find it funny how 3 towers is actually harder than... I did not mean to do it that way. But 3 towers is actually harder than 4 towers. I always found that very hilarious with this game mode. Why did I do that? It's like 1 mana short still. And now we get our orb. Invasion, oddly enough, has a lot of loot for its first cycle of rewards, all of which are obtainable for free too, if you didn't buy any tiers. Though I do advise getting tier 3 for the weapon for free, so you don't have to craft it. Plus you get more sigils for your guild. But theoretically, this event is completely free. And you could get 65 gems in an orb, plus whatever rewards your guild gets, while spending a single gem, theoretically. Even though it's generally a good idea to do so to help your guild. Also, I need to really figure out what's up with my mouse. I'm not sure why, but my mouse keeps like double clicking when I do a single click sometimes. I have no clue what's up with that. It's been doing that for a couple weeks now. I am not sure what's causing it. But occasionally it'll double click when I click a single time. Oh, he has barrier now. It's the first time we actually had to deal with that. Kill that out of the way first. Get our manas. We need to get rid of that. We actually have no good way of getting rid of that, since our mana accumulator doesn't explode, which is normally a really good way of getting rid of shield. Well, we got to go out of our way to take a poke and then kill it out. I do not have a good method. The best method would probably be casting our hero weapon to break it, and then getting our red from it, and then that feeds to our other troops, and then we kill it out that way. It's probably our best method for it. All the super speed clicking. It's only a year old. I replaced this mouse very recently. Also, it's the exact same mouse I had for 7 years that never gave me any problems. Not the exact same mouse, but you know, it's the exact same make of the mouse. Like the exact same brand, exact same make, or you know. It's the same mouse, but different mouse, if that makes sense. You know what I mean. It's the exact same mouse physically, or brand-wise, everything, but it's a different physical mouse. I'm making that really confusing. I think you guys know what I mean, though. And I still use the other one for my other computer, and it works perfectly fine. It could just be that I'm accidentally double-clicking or something. Fidgety hand. But it doesn't happen with the other one, though. Or does it? No, I don't think it does. I don't use the other mouse that often for the other computer. Thank you, HB Chimera. Greatly appreciated. Oh yeah, most of the stuff is still applicable to Switch, except for the weekly event videos. But yeah, I was somewhat doing Switch content. We even made a Switch account when it first released. The main reason I kind of stopped covering the Switch is mostly because it's so far behind, and it just became really tedious. Especially since our viewer base for Switch was a very, very small percent. But we do still play Switch games, though. But oddly enough, even though I stream mostly as far as like alternative games to Gems of War, most of them have been Switch games. Yeah, I don't actually cover Gems of War on Switch, which is kind of funny. Like, obviously, recently we've been covering a lot of Hyrule Warrior videos, which comes out in 2 weeks from now. I'm so hyped for it. I'll be covering a lot of videos for the game. Just covered a weapon guide this morning. Next, I'll probably go over a farming guide. There it is. That was the double click I was talking about. Keeps doing that occasionally. It's really weird. Oh, there it is again. So annoying when it happens. Alright, single skull should kill. Unfortunately, he cascaded the skull I was going to go for. Didn't think the AI would actually go for it. Also, we only got 5 battles left. No, though we'll be doing a lot of Explore 12 grinding. I need to get on that grind. Haven't been doing as much lately. And now that we have 10%, we definitely need to be going for it. 10% bonus makes a huge difference. Also, did the Switch version of the game ever get the most recent big update? The one that added, which one even is the most recent update? Not counting the little mini patch we got the other day. Hold up. I actually forget. Hold up. Was it the one that added the big deeds? I think it is. Do you have those big deed books yet? The ones where you, I think you might have to, because if they're, oh no, but they're not doing the chapter system yet. I didn't think of that. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Does the Switch even have the chapter system yet? I didn't even think about that. Because they might not have gotten the update for it yet. And if they did, they probably don't have the big deeds yet. I already have both of them already. Those big, bulky deed books. And increasing the level cap and everything. Because the Switch version's like 9 months behind, but it's also simultaneously only like 2 months behind on some things. It's a weird mix. Like some things it's 9 months behind, some things are 2 months behind, some things are completely up to date. It's a really strange mix of everything. Mostly when it comes to troops and stuff, they're about 9 months behind. Which means they're getting mythics that we basically got at the beginning of this year. At this point. Actually, I wonder what mythic they got today. I didn't even look at that. That'd actually be a good way to tell. What mythic did Switch get today? Let me check if I can find it. Where on earth is the thing? I cannot find it. Should be under official news. If it would ever load the official news. Load, slow computer, load. Struggle of the second computer. I will eventually have a quick second computer. It's very low priority though. Because one quick computer is kind of enough. But it makes times like this very slow. Please open official news. There it is. Oh, you guys got monk class. Oh gosh, you guys are behind. You don't even have all the hero classes yet. Oh gosh. Let's see, new mythic approaches. What mythic did Switch get today? Oh, you guys got Umanif. Yeah, we got that earlier this year, didn't we? So somehow they don't have all the hero classes, and are getting Umanif today. I did not even realize Switch doesn't have all the hero classes. Gosh, it's behind. I think we've had it for over a year now. I think. How long have we had all hero classes? I think it was since early this year. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. They're about 9 months behind. Ah, interesting. So if they just got Monk hero class, I believe there's 1 or 2 more hero classes after. I think it was 2. Wait, was Monk the last really good hero class? That means they only have 1 more hero class coming. Okay, they almost got all the hero classes in. But yeah, they were like literally 9 months behind. Because I believe in March we got the final hero class. And they're 1 month away from the final hero class. So yeah, that makes sense. They're like 9 months behind, like almost exactly. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I'm not sure if Switch version will ever be 100% up to date. It seemed like they were going to at one point, and then they just kind of kept it behind. Here's all the rewards that Invasion gives. Pretty shiny rewards, 35 or 65 gems, an orb, and then everything else that you get from your guild. Plus we got the weapon, so pretty good range of loot overall. Because that's just the tip of the loot that we actually get. The rest is over here. And it's not even counting the fact that we haven't even finished it yet. Alright, what did we get from the orb? Ah, at least we got a somewhat okay one there. We still got some extra loot. Still got an orb, another 2 orb, and then the major orb. Still got some shinies. But anyways, next order of business. Since we're done with invasions now, for the rest of the stream, we will be grinding a lot of Explore 12. And if nothing else, a good day to do so, because we need to go kill a bunch of yellow enemies. However, the location I'm going to be farming has like nearly 0 yellows, though it doesn't matter because whatever we don't get done this stream, we'll just finish up later tonight when we come back later. But yeah, we'll go and farm for at least an hour. Mess around with invasions, see what we can get. Hopefully get some good loot. Yeah, I'll throw that down. Oh, that's weird. The forum said it was Monk Hero class today. But yeah, that means you guys will get Monk, and then you guys will get Doomsayer. Doomsayer should be the very last hero class, or at least it was on every other version of the game. But yeah, Uminif seemed like it was going to be a Mythic. That could be like a cheap alternative to Zugoff. But it felt like it never came into fruition for being able to do that. It kind of just became a dead content Mythic, especially when Lord of Slaughter came in a few weeks or a few months later. Because Lord of Slaughter, while not exactly Zugoff, basically took the role of Uminif overall. Yes, I'm playing the Steam version. Has it not been working? I haven't had any troubles at all with Steam. Though I did notice when I was recording the video earlier today that their servers were saying degraded performance. However, I've been able to access Steam and everything with it without any problems. Let's see, does it still say degraded performance? So that'd be the game itself, not necessarily the Steam. Because generally whenever it says degraded performance, that means a lot more people are on. And a lot more people were probably on earlier when I was on because they were doing the new Mythic. Because generally when new content comes out, the amount of players just spike in order to access that new content, of course. This happens pretty often on Mondays and Fridays, since that's generally when we get new content for Gems of War. Unless we get like a major Tuesday patch, but that's very rare. That's only like once every few months that we get like a super major patch. Like only 4 about per year. We normally get like 6, 8 patches a year or so. But normally only 4 of them or so are like really major. Our next major one will be probably mid-December. No official date though. But that'll be the last major patch of the year most likely. There's a chance it tweaks Treasure Hunt. However, I don't think we have confirmation yet on definitively what it will do. But if I'm not mistaken, it was a treasure map rework kind of update. Something they've been meaning to do for a while. They were even going to originally include it with the arena update, but they decided to do them separately because they still wanted to think how they wanted to do the treasure hunt rework. Hopefully it's a bit better than the arena rework. Also, they're still looking to rework the arena rework. Maybe that will happen with the treasure hunt rework, since theoretically it would still keep with the fact that they both get updated simultaneously. Hey, an Arania medal, nice. Already starting off pretty good. So I might dig out the controller to do this. Farming with a Switch controller is actually pretty useful for this. However, there is a weird glitch that because they don't have full controller support, they don't intend on fixing, unfortunately. There's a lot of weird controller glitches. But one of them is if you use controller, it actually lags over time. It's one of the main reasons I don't like bringing out the controller normally, even though it's technically quicker for its duration. It just keeps lagging your game more and more. But a Switch controller is nice since you only need one hand for it, and then you can use the other hand on mouse. It's working out very well. Yes, they do intend on reworking Arena again. How much of a change it will really be, we don't know. It will most likely be a change to the Valor event than necessarily the entire thing. We don't know exactly when it's coming, though I'd assume it would come with the Treasure Hunt update, which could be next patch, which is right before the end of the year, like early mid-December. But it has yet to be confirmed to actually be a next patch. That would be the most likely time for it. Unless they're delaying it till next year. Early next year. Like, as soon as mid-December hits, they can't even push out an update until, like, early January. Because they can't get it through the App Store after a certain time to get it on mobile. And then they have to wait all the way till after the holiday. And normally their business doesn't reconvene until, like, the first week, or, you know, after the first week of the new year. So they're normally not back into office until, like, the 8th or so. Or somewhere around there. Which also reminds me, I need to ask for codes way before then. So we have them ready to go. Also, I still haven't even gotten my codes from Kafka. Kafka, we need codes. We've gone almost a week without codes, other than the one birthday one we got. Luckily, Salty has some spares. But, or a spare, I should say. But yeah, I still have not gotten a message from Kafka. We messaged her as early as the 30th. It is now the 6th. I think it has been a little over a solid week. And we still have no codes. Well, as soon as we do, I'll start handing out codes again. They don't matter too much, but they're a bit of free loot. The only problem is they only work on PC mobile version, though. That's where most people play the game, though. Not everyone, of course, but like 70% of the player base, I believe, is on PC mobile. We already know that mobile has the most player base. They've mentioned it in the past. They never gave exact numbers, but they have confirmed many times in the past that mobile makes up a good majority of the player base. There's a good chance it's actually over 50% compared to every other platform. Steam's most likely the second highest. However, that has yet to actually be ever confirmed. But I highly doubt PlayStation or Xbox individually are higher than Steam. And there's that new legend we got on Halloween. Did I get the new Mythic? Yes. We covered a video on it earlier this morning. It's pretty useless. I didn't cover really any during the stream just because it's pretty useless. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. But it's not really worth getting unless you're just getting it for completion's sake. It's also worse than the other Mythic that's available for the Kingdom. However, if you need easy to obtain Mythic for it, you could maybe go for it. Since it's currently easier to get the Mythic that's in the drop table right now than it is to try to get the diamonds or wait till the event of the for the other one. Voice of Orpheus is the other one. Voice of Orpheus is still pretty bad as well. However, I do feel like it's more useful than the Mythic that came out today, comparatively. Even though I probably haven't used Voice of Orpheus for like 2 years. There just really is almost no instance you bring it out. But it is a very situational cleanser. I didn't actually look at most of the new Delve troops for next week. I'll probably go over it soon. I don't like going over too far in advance just in case they make tweaks. Because I hate going over something and then they completely change. They're likely previewing them on Monday. So at that point, it'll probably be safe to show it. Because if they're Monday stream, they're the same as they are in the spoiler thread. They generally don't change it between that time. Unless one of them's like surprisingly broken. And even then, sometimes they don't change it. Let's see. Like Truffle was that instance. Like it was exceedingly surprisingly broken and they didn't bother changing it at all. Actually, that's not true. They did change it, but they made it even stronger. I forgot. Hold up. That was actually an instance where they did change it, but they buffed it. It was already good, and then they made him absurdly good. I forgot about that. Truffle actually originally was not going to have a gem spawn. He was just going to be a really big full AoE with extra turn. But they thought it was too similar to the other troop, which it was. So they gave it a gem spawn and made it broken beyond belief. It was funny. They did that like a few days before it actually came out. It was originally just going to be like an average extra turn troop. And then they made it one of the best troops in the entire game. Out of nowhere. That was really funny. I was really unexpected to that too. It came completely out of nowhere. Like it was already going to be viable. But then they made it like S+ tier. Out of nowhere. There we go, dead. Anything good in the chest? Not really. Not really. It's worth a shot, though. Gotta get all of our loots. The very shiny loots. Every attempt for good things. Beatrix is good. The only thing I hate about Beatrice is its consistency. The extra turn is not as good. However, its cleanse is very, very strong. In many teams, it's actually the best cleanser in the game. There are situations where she's not as good of a cleanse. But in most situations, she's one of the best cleansers, if not the best. With a 4 times cleanse just first getting a single extra turn. Which also means you have immune to freeze, in a sense. Because if you get it from an extra turn, you just get right out of it. Her biggest weakness is stun, though. She's really bad against Obsidious compared to other options because her cleanse is on her traits, not off her ability. So something that has cleanse off their ability, even if they get stunned, it doesn't matter. But with Beatrix, since she has it on her trait, if she gets stunned, that's actually very problematic because she can't cleanse out of that. Voice of Orpheus can, and anything that has the cleanse on ability can. But those are her weakest instances up against Obsidious. And her biggest overall weakness. It's like our biggest hard counter is Obsidious with like freeze. It's probably Beatrix's biggest hard counter. But even just Obsidious in general, if we can get off in time. Freeze just makes it annoying because that then counters her ability. So she gets countered both on her trait and her ability if she's up against an Obsidious freeze team. Which is pretty common because some people run Obsidious with Frost Mage hero class. Which is like the worst nightmare for a Beatrix team. Though Truffle is similarly bad against freeze. Though not so much stun. Why is this board so bad? I don't want to take any of it. That's my favorite Explore team. The one I'm currently using. That does use Zugaf though, and there's no replacement for it. It's Flamer, Thrall, Zugaf, and Leprechaun. There's actually a quicker variant to this, however, it's slower for completion per hour, but it's quicker for max speed. It's one of those instances in the game where it can win the absolute quickest, but it doesn't have the most consistency, which makes it not as good. It's one of those kind of teams, which is why we don't normally run it. We almost got world record with it, though. We were like 3 milliseconds short. I might have even gotten it if we would have submitted it, but I wanted to beat the record by a lot, not by a little. Because if we would have submitted it, we probably would have beaten it by maybe a couple milliseconds. If I want to beat it, I want to beat it by several seconds. There are some other hero classes that could work here. However, yes, Slayer does work the best for first slot on this team. It's not really a hero class you use too often, but it has really good skull damage output with the combination of traits that it has. The main gimmick that actually makes it really good is that it gains Enrage every time you get a kill. That's the main thing that actually makes this build viable. And it's the only hero class in the entire game that has it. Enrage when you get a kill. This basically allows it to perpetually keep Enrage, even if it doesn't take a extra turn skull, which is what a lot of other hero classes require. But it has both extra turn skull, like right there, boom, we got Enrage, but it also has kill skulls, or kill Enrage, I mean. So whenever we get a kill, we also regain Enrage. So we gain Enrage right there, we gain Enrage right there, even though that was only a 3, and so on and so forth. Dragon Guard's a pretty good alternative for, oddly enough. I ran that for a while. It's slower, but it's your hero doesn't die nearly as much. Though it can still die if you're not careful. Even in that instance. I used to run it, but it's just so much slower, even though it's a lot more consistent. The consistency just isn't worth the speed decrease. Because it can't one-shot stuff consistently. Because it doesn't have enrage. It just has the triple damage burning. Though if it did have enrage, that'd be a different story. Come on, one more poke. Or that works too. What's the best kingdom to get Nisha? They all have the exact same rate. It's based on difficulty, not on kingdom. Explore 12 has the best rate. And honestly should be the only Explorer you ever do if you're trying to hunt Nisha. Anus and Nishas are basically pointless to hunt on anywhere other than Explore 12. Theoretically, that's applicable to every metal in the game. Like, you should really only be doing Explore 12 if you're hunting for them. However, particularly Nisha and Anu, because their chance on every other level is either literally 0 or pretty much 0. Making Explore 12 the only real viable location for it. Many other tokens can be farmed to others, like the common to epic rarity, particularly the first 3 rarities. However, theoretically, every single token is farmed the best on Explore 12 due to how many shards you get, which cycles your chest a lot more often. The issue with Blade of Lands is there's a lot of revive troops. You normally want to avoid kingdoms with a lot of revive. I think it has like 3-4 troops that have like a 25% revive, plus it has one with a 50% revive. One nice thing about Golvania, generally when you're farming Explorer, you want to find one that doesn't have any revives or any powers. And if you're using a spell team, generally one that doesn't have spell resistance as well. Generally the meta is instant kill or skull spam. So spell reduction might not necessarily matter, mostly if they have an empower or if they have a revive troop. And one nice thing about Golvania is not only does it have 0 immune to burning, so we can always consistently get the Zugoff triple damage kind of thing, but at least currently anyways, until that eventually changes. Luckily that most recent legend for this place didn't actually change anything. But that was the other thing I was going to mention. I was about to mention one other thing related to it. Oh yeah, but it also doesn't have any revive on death. It doesn't have any 25% revive on deaths or any other annoying mechanic that can randomly get a revive. Because I ended up having an Urskea too, and Urskea is a pretty good place to farm. It does have one 25% revive troop now, which is pretty annoying. They also added immune to poison there finally, which was also annoying. They will eventually add immune to burn to this place, which would be rather unfortunate. But as it stands, yeah, still no immune to burn. Which is why we can get away with this so consistently. Even if they did add one, it wouldn't matter too much because you could just Zugoff that specific one if you pay attention to it. However, if they added more than one, it would get really annoying. But one single immunity here wouldn't actually matter too much. You already have to deal with it occasionally when you see a mech gnome. It would just be slightly more common than that. Oh, what am I doing? I'm like trying to find options. Like, oh, it's just sitting there. It is just sitting there, ready to go. Oh no, sniffly nose. Let's see, we'll take that down. Get our poke. Get our other poke. Get our manas, and he should be dead. Doesn't even matter that he gets a kill there. Doesn't matter at all. Do any of those go poke? Not really. Two tokens of guard. It's like the worst thing we can even get from it. I don't think there's anything worse you can actually get in a level 12 chest than 2 tokens of guard. Because it's the lowest rarity token and the lowest amount of tokens you can get. That is quite literally the worst drop you can get. How very unfortunate. I can't even remember the last time we got the worst possible drop on that. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of pretty underwhelming mythics. The most recent mythic that hasn't been underwhelming was Lord of Slaughter, which I believe was June, May, somewhere around there, July. It's one of those 3 months. It's been like half a year since we got a viable mythic. And I don't even feel like I use Lord of Slaughter much, though it is a really good mythic. I just happen to not use it. It's kind of like Great King, where it's a really good mythic, but I didn't really use it a lot initially. But yeah, Lord of Slaughter is very meta. I just personally don't use it much. He's really high risk, high reward. 3 tokens of guard would be better than 2 tokens of guard, because it's 1 extra token of guard. I'd much rather see 3 of it than 2 of it. Honestly, almost any triple token drop I like more than a double, unless that double is really high rarity. Just because it gets us more upgrades. That won't be the case once we have every common and rare max and stuff like that. But as it currently stands, any amount of tokens that's more tokens, even if they're low rarity, technically helps us upgrade more compared to 2 tokens. Of course, you still, compared to like double Anu or double Nisha, obviously that's way better. But theoretically, seeing 3 rather than 2 is normally better. Like, I'd almost rather see 3 tokens than 2 ultra rares. Like, any rarity 3 rather than 2 ultra rares is theoretically better for overall upgrading. At least until we start getting things maxed for certain rarities. But at this current moment in time, we're not at that point, so it's actually better just to have more tokens. But I'd rather see something like triple guard than double Orpheus, which is double ultra rare, because at least it's getting us more material to upgrade with, even though it's lower rarity material. However, anything epic rarity or above is always good, even if it only gives you 2. Just because they're a little bit harder to obtain due to their drop rate. Or not like absurdly hard, but you know, the Nisha hunt is real. Oh, like right there, got an Arania. But it's always good to see 3 drops. It'll be a while before seeing 3 drops isn't enticing. Because you'd have to have every common and every rare max before a triple drop is not worth it compared to a slightly higher rarity double drop. Because basically how tokens work, while they don't become 100% useless, tokens theoretically lose a lot of value once you break 2 rarities away. So a common finally becomes useless once you've upgraded every common and rare in the game. Rares become useless once you've upgraded every common, rare, and ultra rare in the game. Ultra rares become useless when you've upgraded every common, rare, ultra rare, and epic in the game, so on and so forth. We're still a while from that. It's kind of like how ingots are, except it doesn't work inversely. because ingots can't downgrade, whereas tokens actually can downgrade. In the sense that you can upgrade lower rarity stuff with it very easily, whereas you can't do the same with metal. I mean with ingots, but metals can. How come we still keep farming even though we have 3 niches? Because you still need metals to upgrade every single troop in the game. That's just to start getting 3 niches and 3 of every metal. That's just to start so you have max global bonus whenever you want to run a certain stat. However, that's by no means the end of metal grinding, because every single troop theoretically reaches level 23, in the sense that there are 3 elite levels: bronze, silver, and gold. We currently have it on our leprechaun for the gold, but those elite levels give a little bit extra stats once you get a troop to max, like level 20 all traits. Once you get it to that point, you can use metals to upgrade a troop, and it requires a lot of metals to upgrade troops. 6 of its rarity, though you can use 1 of the above rarity to count as 3 of the previous rarity. So, for example, you can upgrade an ultra rare with a ultra rare, a double ultra rare, and then a single epic if you wanted to. And that epic will count as 3 of the ultra rares. I was wondering how many total tokens we do have right now. Like, once a month, we need to do, like, a big meddling stream where we, like, meddle everything. Let's see, how many spears do we have right now? I feel like we still need a little while to go. We haven't been doing too much grinding lately. But as far as spears, we currently have 4, 2... Okay, we got 8 epics, 7 ultra rare, 5 rares, and 4 commons. It's enough to upgrade like 3 or 4 troops, I think. Around that many. Depends how we distribute them. That's about 3 or 4 troops. It's not too many. Oh, so I still have no mythics upgraded. And I think I have 2 legends upgraded. I did, what 2 did I do? I did, I never did upgrade Queen Titania, did I? I think in that one video I mentioned I did. I actually haven't yet. The 2 that I upgraded are Yagway and Web Spinner. I didn't upgrade Queen Titania in case a Fairy Fire option ever came into the game that would make her irrelevant. However, the Fairy Fire option that came in today did not make her irrelevant, so that's good. Maybe they'll never make her irrelevant. But they made Queen Mab irrelevant, which is kind of like her counterpart. Her much weaker counterpart, at least in the current state of the game. That was my biggest concern with upgrading her, because I felt like she would eventually just become another Queen Mab. But as it currently stands, Queen Titania's been holding up pretty well, actually. Like, surprisingly well. I'm not sure if I'll cave in and finally upgrade her. The other concern is another good legend will just become meta in the near future. And while something like Truffle's pretty good, it doesn't gain a good modifier. It doesn't gain, like, spell damage, which I'm actually rather surprised that they didn't give him spell damage. That would have been amazing on him. But maybe they were concerned it'd be too broken. Because, gosh, 6 damage would do so much if he had 6 higher magic. Because he's the loopiest troop in the game. Best infinite loop currently in the game. So loopy, he can loop into himself. With Forge Troll and a Green Storm, it's unstoppable. Let's see, we'll throw that down. There we go. Oh, we only got 2. He's got an Nisha token? Nice. The first of many. Yeah, we got an Nisha token last night, which was pretty nice. Still need like 1 billion more. But everyone helps. We got 5 on Friday, like 2 weeks ago. I think we might have set the world record for most Nishas within an hour and a half. We got 5 Nishas in an hour and a half. It's pretty absurd. Currently we're like, how long did we do invasions for? We're probably about 30 minutes with 0. That's to be expected. On average, it probably takes like 2 hours to get a single Nisha. And you can literally go like 10 hours without getting a single one. I'm not sure what the exact time frame really is. Because you can go so long without getting a Nisha sometimes. You finally got your Nisha medal after 143 years. That's about how long it takes. Sure feels like it sometimes. However, I did have my first 3 Nisha medals within a month and a half after they released. So I did power grind it quite a bit during that time. And by a month and a half after release, I mean the release of Nisha medals. Not of the game's release. Medals didn't even exist at that time. It's a new mechanic that came out a year ago. It came out October of last year. Hello, TG man. Welcome. Also, we're getting really close to level 1,600. Next Vault event weekend, we might actually be able to grind all the way to 1,600. I think it'll finally be time. The goal is to get it before the end of the year. Looks like we'll get it a month ahead of time. Gosh, it's going to be like 2023 by the time we actually have, or maybe even 2024. By the time we have level 2,000. 2,000 is basically considered max level in this game. It theoretically goes higher, but you have max stats for your hero once you hit level 2,000. So theoretically you're maxed at 2,000, even though it's not actually max level. Max level is 10,000. It's literally impossible to reach 10,000. You could play for 12 hours a day for the next 10 years and still not be level 10,000. How it's scaled. So level 2,000 is generally considered max. Because that's when you hit max stats for your hero. Of course, the stats make a very little difference, but that's theoretically max if you're going for 100% true, ultimate, 100% completion. Theoretically, you need level 2,000. So I'd almost consider 1,500 to pretty much be max as well. But 2,000 is theoretically the actual max. Even though it still keeps going higher from there. I kind of like that because at least there's like no wall. The game used to have a level 1,000 wall until they eventually raised it. Where for like a year and a half, like every single person was level 1,000 who was an active player. So it's kind of nice that there's no wall anymore. Super ultra kill. That was like an extra triple kill at the end there. And it was still our turn. Now, if only could do that at the beginning of the battle. Help speed them along. Because boss slayers can chip you at any time. Always a big concern. Because when they end up hitting Zugaf, they just one-shot it. If you're not careful. That is what they do. You can and you also can't. While the game theoretically lets you go to level 10,000, it is quite literally impossible. This game is very unlikely to even exist for how long it currently takes to get level 10,000. It takes like 40 to 50 years to get level 10,000. They never intended anyone to actually reach it. Even something like 2,000 takes a very, very ridiculous long amount of time. But luckily, beyond that, you don't really get anything of substantial. You just get a little bit extra mastery. Which is basically nothing already, even at the level we're at. Let alone when you're even higher. Yeah, Rainier, nice. The highest level in the game, I believe, is like 2,300 or somewhere around there. I believe that's around where max is. I'm pretty sure if we see global, we're going to see like almost no one even higher than us. Oh, I'm not even in global 1. Oh no, I don't get to see global. It's not going to go that far back then if we go to global 1 now. But you can see here, it's going to be very unlikely we actually find someone higher. I'd be really surprised if we see a single person over 1,500. Hey, we do. But it's a different Isabel. I'm not trying to click on that. I'm trying to X out of it. They're about the same level as us, actually. A little bit lower. Oh, so we did see one person above 1,500. However, we haven't seen anyone above us in global. And then there's 1,470. Oh, nope, no one above us. But they definitely exist. They are out there, lurking somewheres. Not talking in global chat and are grinding instead to get their levels even higher. What's the highest known level someone has achieved? I believe it's actually on PlayStation 4 version, oddly enough. And I believe it was level 2,400. If I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. There's a couple hundred levels above 2,000. That's the highest level in the game. Yeah, anything above 2,000 is max level. Anything beyond that's just... it keeps track that you've been playing more. There's really no point to get above level 2,000. And honestly, you have most of your stats once you hit 1,000. You're going to gain 10 additional stats from 1,000 to 2,000. And that grind takes literal years. Because you're only missing 10 hero stats from 1,000 to 2,000. At that point, you already have most of it. And right now, we're only missing 4 stats. Soon to be 3 stats. Or sorry, we're missing 5 stats. Soon to be 4 stats. Because 1,600, 1,700, 1,800, 1,900, and then 2,000. So yeah, we're missing 5 stats. Soon to be 4. Doesn't make too big of a difference. Though I do believe the level 2,000 one's another magic, if I'm not mistaken. Which, of course, extra magic on hero is pretty potent. I believe the other one was at 1,000, the prior one. I think 1,500 was an attack bonus. What was armor? I don't remember. I think the next one might be armor for us. I forget where the full list is. I used to keep track of it, but I don't really bother these days. Because levels just go so slow. It's almost like a year between 100 levels now for the extra stat. That could be a lot lower if I had to grind it more. Even what I'm doing right now is not the quickest EXP rate in the game. The quickest rate is farming Explorer like 3 or 4 with instant one shot with like Rowan. That's the quickest hero XP in the game. Not class XP, but hero XP. And specifically doing that when you have 100% bonus from your Guild Wars battles is the best time to farm XP in the game. Yes, you can replace the Flameifer with pretty much any mana accumulation method that does not block Zugaf. Anything that doesn't block Zugaf that accumulates mana, you can pretty much use in first slot on this team. It does not have to be. It does not have to be Flameifer. Flameifer just works the best because there's a burn option attached to it, so it works good for a backup burn. It also can mana generate directly into Zugaf, but it is not required for this team. Also, if you want something similar to it, you can also just run Flameifer. I mean, not Flameifer, I mean Urskea Crown as a replacement for Flameifer. Oh, we do get +1 health. Oh yeah, that was kind of useless. The +1 health, but hey, extra durability. Maybe we'll not die to a true damage poke at some point because of it. We'll know once we get that extra stat. If we ever survive with 1 HP, we can thank the 1 HP we got earlier for saving us. Health, armor, attack, health, magic. Yeah, okay, the 2000 fun is magic, that's what I thought. So we're still missing 2 offensive stats, 1 attack and 1 magic. And the rest is just a little bit of durability. Obviously they don't make that big of an impact, but hey, every little bit helps. You use your hero in like nearly every team these days. So giving it a few extra stats can go a long way sometimes. And level 3000 is armor. Yes, you theoretically get an extra stat every 1000. However, it's literally impossible, or realistically impossible. There are 0 people currently in the game at level 3000. So even though you theoretically could get more stats after that point, there's quite literally no one in the entire game that has it. So it's basically no additional stats beyond 3000 because of that reason. Like, I'd be very surprised if someone actually does get level 3000 before the end of this game. Because this game's likely to still last for like another 5 years to a decade. Who knows? Maybe we'll keep going forever. It's like the main project the development team is working on, so who knows? Might go for infinite longevity. But in that case, it probably would reach 3000. But yeah, you know how long it takes to reach level 3000? We're talking like tens of thousands of hours in this game, especially given that you likely won't be focusing all of it on XP farming. It takes an absurdly long time. There are people with over 30,000 hours in this game that aren't even halfway there. As far as the grind is concerned. Like, I think the halfway point is level 2,500. Which I don't think a single person in the entire game even has yet. $2,400, 2,500. Somewhere around there is the halfway point to 3,000. I still hope they eventually release Puzzle Quest 3. I still feel like they're secretly working on it. They have yet to confirm it. Though, they have also yet to deny it. They have at no point denied that they are working on Puzzle Quest 3. They have just never confirmed it. The main reason I really feel like they're working on Puzzle Quest 3 is they released an HD remake of the Puzzle Quest 1 last year. About 2 months prior to now, last year, they released the HD remake of the original Puzzle Quest, which really makes me think that they're planning on doing Puzzle Quest 3 as a Switch exclusive. Because I believe every Puzzle Quest started as a Switch exclusive. It seems very likely. And then it gets ported to like everything like a year or two later. Which means the HD remake should hopefully come to Steam or something soon. I have no clue how long their exclusivity clause is, but it's been over a year. Maybe it's a 2-year exclusive? Or maybe they're waiting until Puzzle Quest 3 comes out before they make it bring it to other platforms? Who knows? I forget who even published it. Because I don't think 505 Games published their Puzzle Quest 1 HD remake. There's a different publisher. Even though 505 owns Gems of War. Even though it's not the company making it, being the publisher. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Too bad Devolver Digital isn't the publisher. Could you imagine how many skins you could make in Fall Guys of Gems of War content? Let's see, we'll throw that. Actually, we'll take that down. Get our splodes. Actually, what has 505 Games even done recently that was big? I know Payday 2 is kind of like one of their things. Wasn't Terraria 505? Pretty sure it was. It's pretty dead these days, though, compared to Minecraft and other stuff. I don't know, is Terraria still strong? I'm not sure. I never even bothered getting into the game. Other things they really own that's big IPs. What's the most recent thing that they did? Didn't they do something for current gen? Like got some backlash because of how they did the Legacy Edition, or, you know, like the one that gives you the next upgrade for the next consoles. What was it called? Contact or something? Not even sure what the game's about. I think that was their most recent big game, as far as a publisher. Obviously, it's a different company as far as who's developing it, though. I wonder when was the last time the 505 Twitter even mentioned Gems of War. Let me go do some research. It might be literal months. Let's see. When was the last time they have even mentioned Gems of War? I know they have on occasion. Let's see. Where's 505's Twitter? I'm not even following them. 505 Games. Actually, does Infinity Plus 2 even have its own Twitter? Or should? I know they have their Gems of War Twitter, but I'm not sure if they have a company Twitter. Infinity Plus 2. Where's your Twitter? I typed that in and it doesn't even come up. I hope there's something here. I don't see it. Unless I spelled it wrong. But I know they have a Gems of War Twitter, obviously. Let's see. When was the last time 505 Games have even mentioned Gems of War? Probably for a while. Let's see. Yep, Control. Some other game. Wait, did they publish Death Standing? I didn't even realize that. I did not realize they were the publisher for Death Standing. Control to Switch. They tweeted something about Among Us for whatever reason, because Among Us is so big that they have to. Let's see. Gosh, I scrolled down this far and we're only like back a whole week. How often did they tweet? Gosh. Something else they're porting to Switch. Terraria is now on mobile. Yeah, they haven't mentioned Gems of War for ages. Let's see. Another Terraria one, a bunch of other stuff, bunch of other stuff, bunch of other stuff. Unless they're mentioning their free-to-play games, they like almost never mention Gems of War. Something coming to Xbox, Terraria again, some other stuff. Many other things, some racing games, some other stuff. Let's see. Some stuff they're selling in a bundle. For that one charity website thing, Humble Bundle, whatever it was. I'm not sure which one it was, but it was one of those websites. Let's see. I scrolled down a month, 2 months, and they have not mentioned Gems of War a single time. It has been a while. Anyways, that's one to check. Oh, we got 4,000 gold. Anyways, keep going. But yeah, Gems of War gets like literal 0 advertising. Like the entire player base of the game is completely word of mouth. I wonder if they're ever going to do a big update where they're actually going to advertise the game. Because I'm not sure the game has really ever had ads running for it. Hey, an Anu token, nice. I don't mind getting 2 if we get an Anu every time. But yeah, the player base for this game has always been pretty good. It's almost always gone up at a very, very, very slow pace. Though it's been somewhat stagnant lately, I think. Let's check Steam charts. So Steam charts is by no means the full scope of the game, but it gives like a kind of generalization of it, because mobile still makes up the good majority. But let's see where it is. I assume it's dipping ever so slightly. Just because we haven't had a huge content patch for a little while now. Let's see, Gems of War. So yeah, it is dipping ever so slightly. But yeah, just look at how consistent their numbers have been for like forever. It's just like a really consistent up, where it's like it started super small, it never had like a super big peak. Like it came out and like no one knew about it, and then still no one knew about it, and it just ever so slightly creeped upwards. And yeah, it's still pretty much there. Still getting about the closest to its biggest peak ever, which was the biggest peak ever was actually 2 months ago, back in September, which I believe was the last time we had a big content update. Because that tends to be what happens, is goes a little bit stale, the meta kind of becomes the same, and then they do an update. It's like, boom, okay, a bunch of stuff changes, we get some new stuff, and it kind of dips a little bit, and then boom, another big update. And it tends to be the way it is. You can kind of tell like exactly when the big updates are, pretty much, because it always peaks and then goes down for a little bit, and then a big update like in December, boom, it'll peak again, and it'll go down a little bit, but it always keeps going up. It peaked its best ever in September, so I always find that really weird. This game statistics is the weirdest statistics I think I've ever seen for a game, because it never dies. It just slowly creeps upwards. It's very strange. I've never seen a game ever function like that, where it always has like a relatively small niche community. It just ever so slowly keeps going upwards in a very up and down line, slowly moving upwards. It's just a really weird chart. Really interesting to follow, though. But you compare that to like any other game, and there's almost no comparison. It's a really, really weird growth cycle. Or it's always growing at a very glacially up and down pace. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Oh, of course, that only tracks Steam. That doesn't track all the other platforms. Though you can kind of infer that it's probably pretty similar on most other platforms, as far as overall. Though, of course, numbers is quite a bit different. Steam should be the second biggest player base. Biggest is both of mobile versions. I'm not sure which console gets played on the most. I'd probably PlayStation 4 if I had to guess. And Switch probably has the smallest player base for 2 reasons. One is it's a little bit not up to date compared to the other versions. But the bigger reason is it actually hasn't existed for nearly as long. The Switch version is only, I believe, 1.5 years old, whereas every other console version's like 5 years old, almost 6. So consoles have gone for a lot longer. So they've had more time to build up a player base. Actually, I almost feel like checking the Switch version to see what you even need to make leaderboard. Generally, leaderboards are easier to make on console, particularly Switch version. Mostly because PC and mobile has the most amount of players playing, so they tend to be the most contested leaderboards. Oh yeah, there's a lot of whales and gems of war that feed this game like crazy. It's the reason they've been able to survive so long, most likely. Though the battle pass is probably getting a lot of more casual people to spend money. Because I generally don't spend money on the game, and I'm actually buying the battle passes. Yeah, this game has been very surprisingly consistent with new content. It's actually pretty, like, shocking. Like, when you think that they, for about 5 years now, have done a weekly update, or, you know, new content every single week for over 5 years now. Before, it used to be bi-weekly prior to that point. But they eventually did an update about less than a year into the game cycle, where every single week they did new content every week. Which is really surprising when you think how consistent that really is. Like, no hiccups at all. New content every single week. Never have they missed out a single week. Like, that is some really high consistency. There might have been a glitch here and there that kind of made the weekly event be kind of weird when it started, and a couple other things over time, but we still got new content literally every week, which is pretty surprising for any game to be that consistent. And they did that for over 5 years straight. And 6-year anniversary for the game is in a week. We're getting the 5-year anniversary pet this Wednesday, actually. Or sorry, 6-year anniversary pet for the game. Because it came out 2014 November. That means I've basically been playing this game for a quarter of my life now. Let's see, I'll take that. Pretty much since the end of high school, because it would have started when I was 19. Oddly enough, pretty much since I've been self-employed, I've been playing this game, though I haven't been making content for it that long. I believe we're 4 years in, 5-year next year. Hey, Nanu, nice. Yeah, it's kind of funny. After high school, I have actually yet to ever work a traditional job. After high school. I just never bothered with one. Done a lot of weird jobs, but they've all been technically self-employed. And of course, the main thing we do these days is YouTube. Which still makes an okay amount of money. Not the greatest. Still makes less than minimum wage, but it's obviously a lot of fun to do. Very flexible hours. There's a lot of benefits in that regard. Though no actual benefits, still don't have any healthcare because, gosh, the United States healthcare system is awful. And I have a feeling, even if Biden wins, like, his plan for healthcare is not going to be ideal. Though if we can at least get a public option, that'd be great. Though that's like bare minimum. And he might not even get that. Also, has it even been called yet? I'm pretty sure it hasn't. And even if it has, Trump's gonna contest it in court like the rest this year. Like every possible second he can contest it, he will. I used to do flea marketing, so I very much know what you mean, TJ, man. Though luckily I didn't have to deal with it too much because obviously I was just a single vendor at a place. So it wasn't like as much of a responsibility in that regard to like deal with the person compared to if I was actually working at like a business where I was getting an hourly salary. But yeah, I know the experience. I did flea marketing for about 2.5, 3 years or so. Technically more than that, but I did it as like a job for that long. Because obviously you might flea market occasionally, just casually. But I did it as like an actual job during college. Makes pretty decent money, surprisingly. It's kind of like working in retail, except all the sales you do, you actually get to keep the money. You also have to deal with all the expenses related to it. And tables at some places are not cheap. Though there was one really nice place that doesn't exist anymore that had really cheap tables. It was like $10 a table, which is actually pretty cheap for flea markets these days. Some places were as high as like 20, 30. And really high-end flea markets can go like upwards of 50, 100, or even literal bidding wars for the spot. I never went to any of them that big. Oh, we got a double token. That's not what we want to see. But I've never worked in a normal retail place where you get paid an hourly wage. I don't think I would ever want to do that. Too many annoying people. Too many Karens in the world. Sorry, anyone named Karen. Let's see. I'll take that down. I'll throw... Actually, I'll just take the red. Let's see, we'll take that over. Grab our splodies. I somewhat had to deal with it with flea marketing, but because you're not an actual employee or anything, like, it's not the same experience for sure. Although the more annoying thing is having to deal with theft. Because when you're an employee at a location, it doesn't really matter if people are thieving. Like, you know, it does, but, like, you're not losing money when people do. When you're at a flea market, when people are thieving, you're quite literally losing money. And it's not uncommon. There's a lot of scams out there that people try to pull. Or literally just stealing outright. Literally just grabbing something from your table and walking away as if nothing happened. But when you're an employee at a place, you don't lose money in that instance. I don't even know how much money I've lost from that. It's hard to keep track of. Because generally you don't realize when it's happening. Because that's kind of the point. Let's see. So flea marketing a bit weird sometimes where you could actually lose money on a given day. That's very, very rarely ever happened to me though. Normally if it starts like raining or something like that. But, oh good, double Rarania. I think there's only ever been like a handful of days where I actually lost money doing flea marketing. But normally you make anywhere from like 50 to several hundred. As far as profit. Theoretically, the margin would be even higher if you just counted all the money. But obviously, there's expense with like everything. The table, the things you actually bought to resell and everything. Let's see, we'll throw that down. What did I sell? Pretty much anything. But primarily toys. And a lot of junk from garage sales that could be bought for cheap and then sold for higher. But so I occasionally did like clothes and other knick-knack stuff, but it was mostly toys. I also did Legos quite a bit, both real and fake Legos. The reason for both is fake Legos cost like nearly zero from China, and it makes your real Legos. It does one of two things: either people will buy your real Legos because obviously they want real Legos, or they will buy the cheaper ones because they are so much cheaper than real Legos. So either way, it's kind of a win-win because they see the prices of the real Legos. And then they see a knockoff that looks nearly exactly like it, that functions almost the exact same for like 1/4 the price. And they're like, I'm just going to get the fake one. Because they can kind of test it, touch it, do whatever with it, and kind of see that the fake one is basically the same thing for like a quarter of the price. And it costs like literal cents. Let's see. I'll throw that down. Well, you can normally sell each one for like a couple bucks because there is assembly required and everything. Like every single one takes like a minute to make or a few minutes. Depends how complex it is. Because mostly for the fake ones, I just sold figures, not like actual like sets or anything like that. Sets actually sell really bad. Like real Lego sets sell horrifically bad at flea markets. You sell much better on eBay. But most of them are worth so little that you just sell them at flea markets anyways. And this is like a really expensive set. Hello, Bushka! Welcome. What is that? Oh, it wants me to update my thingy. Oh, we'll need to do that later. Can you guys hear that noise? I forget if I have desktop muted. I think you might have actually heard it. And then that should Zugov kill him. Unfortunately, our hero died, so it's not enough skull damage, even with like 1 billion skulls. Come on now. There we go. So many skulls, so little damage. Come on, gnomes. Let's see that epic Volkey. Every single one of you have like a ridiculously, absurdly low chance to give me an epic Volkey. You know you want to. Or are you the one? Is he the chosen one? We will eventually find a chosen gnome who will give us our epic Volkey. Actually, we have a Vault event in 3 weekends, I believe it was 27th. No! That's like the worst drop in the game. I gotta do this to us. I'll get it eventually. Though the chance of getting it when it's not a epic, it's not a Vault event is absurdly low. They did actually buff it during Vault events more than it was before. However, I still didn't see it the previous Vault event, even though it was buffed. That should be enough to wipe him. Unless we completely missed. That can happen. That can definitely happen. Oh, we're 6 shards short. I really wish there was a way to consistently get 100. 10% helps it, so it's not as bad, but even if you are chasing 20% with 10% extra, that is still not consistent getting a chest every single time. It'd be very close to getting a chest every single time, but even that wouldn't be a guarantee every single time. That'd be pretty close. I wonder if we ever will get enough bonuses where it's actually possible to get it at 100% rate. I highly doubt it, though. Very doubtful. Especially since as far as getting to level 20 is going to be like literal years into the future. And I highly doubt they would extend the system, and even if they did, we're ages away from that. I'll occasionally have to deal with not getting the chest. These even ones we have 20% to 10%. I believe every 20th or so battle ends up giving you not a chest. Currently it's about 1 in 10 will not give us a chest, as we'll be slightly short on points. And if anyone has any other questions or anything else you want me to go over, let me know. I'll make sure to do so. Otherwise, I think we'll go for a few more chests and probably call it a wrap for now. And then tomorrow night, we'll finish our yellow kill objective, which surprisingly, I don't think we actually finished the stream because we haven't really went out of our way to kill yellows. And this definitely is not a very heavy yellow kingdom. That is for sure. It's mostly a purple-red kingdom as far as troops here. I don't know. Did we hit the yellow objective? I don't think we have. Double Orpheus. Oh, no. Oh no, we have. Never mind. Oh, cool. I have no clue when it happens. Was not paying attention, apparently. That kind of makes sense. We have been grinding for a while. We've been doing like an hour and a half straight of Explore. Well, not hour and a half yet, but pretty close. These invasions did not take that long at all. Probably grab lunch after this. Probably just make up a sandwich and figure out what I'll make for dinner. Because I don't even know. We do have a lot of leftovers though from the birthday stuff. We still have some lobster left too. Gosh, we're gonna have enough lobster to last till like probably Monday. It's pretty pricey, but gosh, well, it lasts a while. Lasts almost an entire week. It was mostly pricey because of how much we got. They charge per pound, and I think the thing was like 3 pounds or something. Or 3.5, whatever it was. Quite a bit of meat. What do I grab here? We'll take that for now. Hello, DS. How am I doing? Pretty good. Just kind of grinding some Explore 12. We finished Invasions already, of course. Well, not finished, but you know, we ran out of sigils. It'll be finished probably tomorrow night, actually. Depends how much the guild does between now and then. Have we done Invasion? Yeah, it took like half an hour, not even. We bought to tier 3. Not much of a point in going beyond tier 3. But I do advise everyone go into tier 3. Not only does it help out your guild a lot, if everyone in your guild does tier 3, you'd be able to get it done. But the other reason for tier 3 is you get a weapon. There's a new weapon there. It's a pretty useless weapon. But you can still kind of work with Catches the Bowl if you want to synergize with that. Might have some purpose into the future. But theoretically, you could use it for mana accumulation for the event as well. But it's not that bad of a weapon. Tauruses, I guess, are kind of okay. It gets 50% mana star off the hero class, so has a little bit of synergy in that regard. Since if you're using that weapon, you're obviously using hero, so you could use it immediately into half mana start for Tauruses. Which is what it boost ratio is by. It's only 210 gems as well. Pretty cheap. You almost get that many back just from doing the event. You get 65 back from the event. And then whatever your guild gets from the little tier thingies. Yeah, pretty good value for the event. A new weapon. Bunch of orbs. All the standard stuff you get from an event. Pretty nice range of loot. For pretty cheap. I highly advise doing it to tier 3. Ah, another Anu. No niches today, though. Oh, Anu medal, though. Nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. Hello, Vespani. Welcome. We're halfway to that next level goal. 2.5 more levels to go. We should have it probably by the end of next weekend, probably. Because we're not doing too much grinding between then. Other than some Explore 12 here and there. It's not the quickest way to get XP, but it does give us some XP along the way. Probably around there we'll hit the level range. If not by then, definitely by the Vault event on the 27th. If we somehow don't have it by the end of that weekend, I'd be very surprised. Probably even have it before that weekend even comes around. Hello, Gustavo! Welcome. Yeah, if anyone has any other questions, let me know. We'll probably go for 2 more chests, this chest and the next chest. And probably call it a wrap for now. Yeah, as far as this weekend is concerned, Invasion event to tier 3 good, Mythic bad. That's all we really need to know. For the most part. But yeah, I wouldn't really advise going for this current Mythic. Unless you have more than half the Mythics in the game. Or if you don't have a Leona's Empire Mythic yet. Is that not taken for next turn? Whoops. What do you think of that team for Invasion? What troops are they? I don't have a thing open on my other computer, so I can't actually check it immediately. If you let me know what they are, I can let you know. I personally ran double of the Invasion troop with that one weapon that creates reds. boosted based on Tauruses, with that one yellow-blue from the free epic that you get from the kingdom. Showed it on the Monday video. Also showed it on the Friday Mythic video too, oddly enough. I figured I was kind of mentioning it, might as well have shown it as well, so I did. Since obviously we don't cover a video on whatever the weekend event is normally, unless it's a new delve, in which case we do. Or for something like invasions, raids, stuff like that, we don't really cover a separate video for it, because there's not much of a point to. But obviously a new faction's a bit different. Cloudstalker, Berserker, Ferocity, and Rageweaver. Yeah, that's pretty much what I used. Main difference being the Ferocity for the most part. I guess Berserker too. But yeah, I've heard some people mentioning using Ferocity. I personally found just doubling up on Cloudstalker to be better overall. But it would still work. Gives you a nice buff. Make sure your first slot doesn't die. Oh yeah, I didn't bother using Ketris either. Ketris is only good for the earlier battles. It falls off for the later battles. Yeah, I didn't even bother with Ketris either, even though I have 2 of them. But yeah, what you mentioned sounds like it'd be perfectly fine. Basically, the whole premise is just build around Cloudstalker. Like, anything that you do based on that should be fine. Like, Cloudstalker can carry the entire event. Oh yeah, we don't have kill potential yet. I was hoping that would give us the mana we needed. Apparently not. Okay, we'll go for explosion, then we should be able to get rolling then. Get our 13 plus red, hopefully. Good. Yeah, quite a few towers do use red. The more annoying ones doesn't, the 75% score reduction one. Though a lot of the high damage output towers do. Except for the green-yellow one. Sky your class at 100. No more classes grinding. Nice, Corey! That's a great milestone to have done. That is a really nice milestone to have done. We got that done back in last June. Or, you know, this year's June. Felt so good finally having it done. Oops, I forgot to take that for an extra turn. Well, I didn't forget. I just moved it wrong. Mistakes were made. Oh, good, we got an Arania. No, I'll go for one more. Then we'll call it a wrap after this next cycle. Well, we'll be back tonight, 6 hours from now. Same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Back at the same time we always do every night. Take over the world of Kastara. That sounds like a good plan for tonight. No, we're mostly just gonna keep attacking Golvania until they're in shambles. Even more shambles than the kingdom is already in. Gotta farm them for them tokens. They're gonna have no tokens left once we're done with them. We would have raided every last token in the kingdom. They'll literally just be giving us empty chests. Eventually they'll even run out of chests to give us. How's that not full mana? Hopefully it's extra turn and you're super dead. But anyways, guys. Yeah, so catch you guys later tonight. If any of you are still around. We're doing most of the same stuff. If we happen to get codes from Kafka, we will have a code. However, as it currently stands, I do have no codes. When we'll get codes, I have no clue. It could be Monday, it could be Tuesday, it could be a while at this point. But, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But once we get them, we will hand them out again. Oh gosh, we're only 1 point extra. We almost did not have enough points there. Let's go get the final chest to stream. Hopefully it has 3 niches in it. Let's see, we'll go through this down. Come on. 1 nisha today. I got a nisha the other night, so I guess we kind of got all nisha'd out. One every other day is actually perfectly fine. I am perfectly fine with that rate for how annoying they are to get. Come on, nisha, go. Oh yeah, duh, this isn't a screen that shows up on. This is a screen it shows up on. Oh, we got an Anu though. Nice. What a good way to end. We got like 4 Anus this stream. Pretty nice. No nishas though, but Anu's still good. How many does that bring us to? So we got 5. Oh, so we have 6 full medals and a spare, which means we technically have 5 spares overall. Or, you know, when I say spare, I meant we have 1 token spare. But we have 5 medals and 1 token with a total of, 6 medals and 1 token with a total of 5 spares, since you technically only need 1 of that one rather than 3 like all the other ones. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Best of luck with the events. They're pretty straightforward, though, this weekend. Of course, the team that we used earlier, as I showed a couple times this week already. Just as a refresher, we ran Double Cloudstalker, Rage Weaver, and Sun Weaver personally. Though anything centered around Cloudstalker will be perfectly fine, whatever way you want to build it. But yeah, we'll be back tonight, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 hours from now. And we'll also be doing what we did now, just kind of talking, chatting, messing with grinding. Maybe we'll have codes, maybe we won't, probably not. And let's kind of do our usual stuff. But anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you all enjoy your weekends, and I will catch you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone, and thank you so much for watching.